Between $160 lipsticks and shapewear for your face, it really feels like beauty brands are trolling us at this point. Half of the launches that have come out recently, I'm like, what is going on? So of course, that means it is time for an all-new purchaser pass. Now, if you've never seen this series from me before, we're gonna talk all things happening in beauty, but I like to categorize these into different themes that we're seeing. And the first theme that I'm really interested to talk about is reformulations. It feels like most new launches recently have been a reformulated version of something that already existed. A non-exhaustive list here. Charlotte Tilbury reformulated her foundation. Urban Decay reformulated the All-Nighter Setting Spray. Too Faced reformulated the Born This Way foundation. Patrick Ta reformulated the highlighters, and Fenty reformulated their setting powder. And there are more, but that's just like the highlights here. So why is everything being reformulated? Okay, I think there are a few different reasons. First, I want to single out the Fenty reformulation. I think the main reason for this was to do away with the talc, and that's something we're seeing more and more often. It feels like a lot of brands are just trying to be proactive, where anything they're launching new, they're doing without talc, and then their current products, they're reformulating without talc. And I have to say, I know you're not supposed to say this, but I miss talc, okay? Talc makes a powder really smooth, and so many of these new like talc-free blush, talc-free bronzer, I put it on and I'm like, this is patchy. Regardless, I'm pretty sure that's why Fenty reformulated that one. With the Urban Decay setting spray, they had to reformulate because they ended their long-term partnership with Skindinavia. So I spoke about this a little bit in a short, but the TLDR is that for a long time, Skindinavia made the setting spray and they have ended that relationship. I said Scandinavia, excuse me, Skindinavia. Skindinavia is not happy about this either. If you follow them on socials, they have been very vocal about their frustration with Urban Decay over this. And I have to say, even the way Urban Decay rolled out this reformulation campaign was bizarre. They posted this now deleted video basically sharing 1 million negative reviews of their own setting spray to almost rewrite the narrative that people hated that product, even though it's been like a bestseller cult favorite product for years, so they could bring the new one that's now no longer with Skindinavia. It was kind of messy. But the reformulation that is the weirdest and the most frustrating for me is the Patrick Ta reformulation of the highlighters, because that product was only out for like a year before they reformulated it. And I can understand a reformulation a little bit more when we're talking about something like the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm wearing the new Born This Way on my face today. I can't say I really noticed a difference, but it made sense to me that they made the choice to upgrade that because that has been out for a decade. Like, yes, we have better formulas now. I get that they would want to refresh it to compete against like current foundations. The Patrick Ta highlighters, they don't have that excuse that came out a year ago. I'm like, you didn't test this? You didn't know it was bad? You launched it? The reformulation of the Airbrush foundation from Charlotte Tilbury though is comical. Okay, so I need to show you the side by side because they went like point by point of their old versus their new, and it is like so nonsensical. Like the entire promo photo tells you almost nothing. Okay, they said the old formula, 16 hours of wear, the new formula, 24 hours. Okay, that's a difference, sure. The old version, full coverage. The new version, light as air, full coverage. Okay, so still full coverage. The old version, natural matte finish. The new version, 3D matte, not flat finish. Okay. The old version, waterproof. The new version, waterproof and life-proof. Okay. The old version, skincare infused. The new version hydrates like skincare. I'm like, half of these are the same thing. You just switch the words around. That being said, both the Too Faced and Charlotte Tilbury reformulations are shouting from the rooftops about this 24-hour wear claim. And I am dying to talk about wear time and longevity as selling points for makeup because every new launch is like centered in this theme of wear time. Like I can't wait to talk about it. Okay, but before we do, a quick word from today's sponsor. I'm excited to say that today's video is sponsored by Delva. Now my skincare routine can switch up pretty often. I love trying different serums, different toners, different essences, all of the above. But one thing that never changes is that I start every single day with sunscreen and I reapply. Recently, I've been getting better about that, like actually reapplying throughout the day. And I have to say, out of everything that I've tried on my skin over the years, from like prescription treatments, red light therapy, all of the above, the number one thing that has made a difference truly is just being consistent with sunscreen. Like when I find older photos of myself before I was consistently wearing sunscreen, I'm always so shocked because my skin looks so much better now in my 30s than it ever did in my early 20s when I wasn't wearing sunscreen. More even toned, less discoloration. Truly finding a good sunscreen that you like and will wear every single day will make the biggest difference in your skincare routine. And right now I'm loving the D'Alba UV Essence Waterful Plus. It's broad spectrum SPF 50, which is what I like to look for. And it's also formulated with trufferol, which is a patented ingredient made by combining white truffle and vitamin E, which is great for firming the skin. It's clinically tested to boost skin elasticity more than 5 times compared to propolis and other skin firming ingredients. It also has skin loving ingredients like ceramides and panthenol, which are fantastic if you have dry skin like I do. And it melts in easily without pilling or leaving a greasy film, and it leaves the perfect like glowy base to apply makeup over top of. I find that I don't need a primer when I use this because it leaves my skin so hydrated and glowy that makeup just sits perfectly over top. They also offer a tone up version, which gives you a bit of brightness and color correction. And these are actually 2 of the few OTC certified Korean sunscreens that you can get in the US. You can grab both of these on Amazon. Thank you so much to D'Alba for sponsoring this video, and let's jump back into it. Okay, but getting back to the wear time conversation. As I said, Charlotte Tilbury and Too Faced both reformulated to their new 24-hour wear foundations. And if you have been part of the beauty community for a while now, I'm sure you remember a time when we were getting these really extreme wear time claims. Like, I'm thinking 2016-ish when we were really at like the peak of extreme coverage foundations. This was the main selling point. They were like 36-hour wear, 48-hour wear. And I'm like, 48 hours? Are you giving birth? Like, maybe for some very extreme scenarios, someone could need a 48-hour wear foundation, but for the most part, like, you should be washing your makeup off at that point. Even with 24-hour products, I'm like, Who's wearing their makeup that long? And don't get me wrong, I get there are probably some very specific examples, certain jobs that work very long, untraditional hours, maybe, but for the most part, like, if the foundation already had 16 hours of wear, like, that was probably plenty. Like, getting it up to 24, I don't think is really serving anyone. But I'm noticing these length claims on every new launch. Even NYX's new concealer, same thing. They're saying has 24-hour wear. Anastasia Beverly Hills' new brow pen, again, their main claim here is it's got 24-hour wear. And it's bringing me back to the mindset we were in like 2016 and 17. And maybe I'm like partially here because I've been doing that lore series. If you haven't seen it yet, I've been going sequentially year by year, breaking down everything that happened in that calendar year. I've done 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. So my brain has really been on that era, but something that was really popular at the time was giving these dramatic wear time claims that were beyond what most people were asking out of their products. But it almost got to a point where it became less about the consumer's need from their makeup products and more like vanity numbers of like who can create the longest wear time. And as we know, everything comes back around and we are getting the 2025 version of that. Everything is about wear time right now. And I have to say, this overall theme of just long wear products feels like a direct response to clean beauty and like clean girl makeup. Because what do we know about skin tints? They don't last. And after this boom of very light coverage products that we've had the last few years, the biggest pain point to that type of makeup is that you have to touch it up, you have to reapply it. It's not going to last 12 hours. It's certainly not going to make it 28 to 48 hours. That's just the reality of a light coverage dewy product. Like, getting that to last is challenging. So after this influx of like clean girl makeup that doesn't last, it makes sense that now everything is about lasting. We're almost getting that like overcorrection. Oh, that stuff faded in 4 hours. This one lasts 24 hours. And once I started paying attention to this, it was something I could not unsee. It's like every new launch seems to be in the theme of longevity, like the popularity of lip stains. Makes sense after we've had lip oils for so long. Lip oils don't last at all. Lip oils last less time than lip gloss, even though I would consider lip oil like a category of lip gloss. Even like the new fragrance layering balms that Rare Beauty came out with. So with their perfume, I don't know why I had to act that out, but with their perfume, they also launched these layering balms. Now the point here is to kind of customize. You can do different bases through your balm and like layer over it. And I get the layering aspect of it, but I will say a huge angle that they have promoted these layering balms from is longevity. Right on Sephora, it mentions that with this layering balm, you will get up to 12 hours of wear. And again, that's a big pain point people have right now with perfumes, especially with like more clean fragrances, like they don't really last as long. So now they have created this product to solve the problem we had with the original fragrance. Okay, this didn't last, you need to layer it over this other product. Even like new launch from Fenty, their primer, this is described as a makeup extending primer. And again, you know, Fenty's not the first brand to ever launch a gripping primer that's gonna extend the wear of your makeup, but I think it's very relevant that these are all coming out right now as a reaction to the products that came out years prior. That being said, out of all those, the one that I'm the most excited about that I will be buying, and maybe one of the only things in this video that I have much interest in, is the lip liner stains from NYX. I love a lip liner, I love a lip stain, I love a lip liner stain. I really enjoy the CoverGirl ones, and I tried to pick up the ones from Huda. I went to the Sephora near me a couple weeks back. They were sold out, they had nothing. So I did not end up getting them, and then later on, I was kind of glad that I didn't because I've heard some relatively negative reviews on it. Let me know though, have you tried it? Do you recommend it? Do you feel like I should go grab it? I don't know. But the NYX ones are really pulling me in. I also like the shape of the applicator a lot. The next big theme we're getting in beauty right now is the pro brand era. And I started to speak on this in my last video, but I want to expand on it because I'm so fascinated watching this happen. So to give some context, what I referenced in the previous video was also from that lore series. I'll have the full playlist link down below if you haven't seen it yet, but I talked about how we initially had this really big boom of influencer brands. This started like 2016 through, let's say 2018-19 was when we had this influx of every single influencer launching a brand. That's not to say we haven't had influencer brands since then, but like that was the boom. The influencer brand came and went, and we got the celebrity brand boom, and every celebrity was kind of launching a brand. It really kicked off with Rihanna starting Fenty in 2017, but then it felt like every other celebrity brand wanted to come out in the next 5 or so years. Flash forward to today, we still are getting celebrity brands, and there are still a couple influencer brands coming out, but not like there were before. Now it is being replaced with the pro brand. Brands created by professional makeup artists, professional hairstylists, all of the above. And the most recent examples that we've gotten in 2025 include Mary Phillips makeup brand that just launched at Sephora. We also have a new hair care brand from Chris McMillan. He is the hairstylist responsible for the famous Rachel haircut from Friends. That is like his claim to fame. He has his own beauty brand, again, also at Sephora. And coming very shortly will be a new beauty brand from Hung Van Gogh, also coming to Sephora in September. And an aside related to Hung Van Gogh, if you are someone who misses tutorials, I hear that sentiment a lot. People are saying like, you know, I want to watch tutorials on YouTube. Go follow his channel. I love just like throwing his videos on my TV and like sitting back and watching it. He has this very calming presence. He is so incredibly talented. You will learn so much from his videos. Like if you miss tutorials, that is the channel for you. But his brand is about to come to Sephora. And it's really interesting to watch this evolution from influencer brands to celebs to pro brands, but to also kind of see it happening in real time, and especially watching some of those earlier influencer brands closing down, like Dragon Beauty has closed, Laura Lee Los Angeles has closed, Addison Rae's beauty brand has closed, Hiram's beauty brand has closed. Like so many of those original like influencer beauty brands are done now. One of the few like truly successful influencer brands has been Huda Beauty. So much so to the point that when I say that brand, I don't think a lot of people even associate it as being an influencer brand, even though Huda was like one of the originals. And then we got the celebrity brand boom, which I would argue we are still kind of in, but not as extreme as before. But there is just such a fatigue from consumers when it comes to celebrity brands. It's really hard to get someone excited about a celebrity brand. But that's where these pro brands are a little bit different. You look to them for their expertise. You think, okay, they're gonna make great makeup. I think to a lot of consumers, it feels like less of a cash grab than an influencer or a celebrity brand. But one thing that I find interesting is I've noticed across the board, the price points for these pro brands are a little bit higher. I'm especially thinking of Mary Phillips. She launched the Underpainting Face Highlight and Contour Palette, and it is a 6-pan cream palette to do her signature underpainting technique, which is where you apply that beneath and then you do your like foundation over top. That is $64. And interestingly enough, I haven't heard much critique of that price. And I find that people are a lot more accepting of a high price tag from a pro brand than they would be from an influencer or celebrity brand or just any new brand at Sephora. And there almost used to be this like sentiment that people seem to agree on in the beauty community that you should start with a lower price and kind of like prove yourself before you raise your prices. I remember hearing that feedback from so many of the early influencer brands, like you're charging way too much for not being an established brand, like you could charge more down the road, which we now know is a pretty illogical sentiment. Like think about e.l.f. They did that. They started with $1 products. Now they have like $18 foundations. And are people happy about it? No. But I find it fascinating that generally I've seen these higher price tag products less critiqued when they're coming from pro-led brands, like this Mary Phillips brand. No one seems to care that this is $64, but if a random celebrity launched this same product for $64, I think there would be a lot of backlash. But I think for a lot of people, they feel that prices are more justified because it is coming from a pro. What do you think? I'm really curious to hear your opinion there. The next topic I want to talk about is word salad. Okay, that's what I wrote in my notes, the word salad, or the SEO-ification, whatever you want to call it, of product names. Now, this pertains more to the Sephora website. It is grinding my gears. Products used to have names. They don't have names anymore. They have descriptions in the place of a name. Like they're giving claims in the title, in the name of the product. Okay, the Tower 28 blushes, the official name on Sephora is the Tower 28 Get Set Blur plus Set Matte Powder Blush. We've got 3 claims right there just in the title alone that it is setting, blurring, and matte. So then I started thinking, am I in my head? Has it always been like this and they always had these claims in the titles, but I'm just not remembering it being like that? Because, okay, another example here, House Labs. I just go right to the foundation page on Sephora. This one pops right up. The House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation with Fermented Arnica. So then just to cross-reference, I used the Wayback Machine to look at Sephora in 2016 just to cross-reference, okay? 9 years ago, what were these titles? Surprise, surprise, they were normal. Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, Too Faced Born This Way. There were a couple that were getting these longer names, like we had Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. Okay, we're kind of getting there, but there has been this really distinct shift away from products having names to products having descriptions. And to be fair, this is more relevant to the Sephora website itself. A lot of these have alternate names when you look at them on their own website, but we can really see the influence from retailers like Amazon in the way that products are being titled. They're very SEO forward titles, SEO meaning search engine optimization. Like, so someone could type in blurring foundation, because you have added the word blurring to your title, it is more likely to come up. The same way you search up a tank top on Amazon and it's like tank top going out, comfy, built-in bra, basic, casual, supportive top. And really, once you see this, you cannot unsee it. Like, I'm shopping on Sephora and I'm like, what is with these names? And now that I said it, I know you're not gonna be able to unsee it. But let's talk about some beauty news. What is going on in the beauty space? Starting with Makeup Alley shutting down. Okay, so you either know what Makeup Alley is and are so sad to hear this, or you're like, what the heck is Makeup Alley? It is an all-in-one site for makeup reviews. It was launched in 1999 and it will officially be closing down September 27th. I remember using this really before YouTube was a source for product reviews. Now a lot of people would seek out YouTube or TikTok to find a product review, but before those mediums existed, we were using things like Makeup Alley. This really makes me feel nostalgic and brings me back, but unfortunately it is closing down. Also, some very sad news. Sharon Shooter has passed away at age 38. Sharon Shooter was the founder of Oma Beauty and also the Pull Up for Change campaign. I was so sad to hear this. Sharon Shooter has had such an impact in beauty, especially when it comes to representation, not only through her beauty brand Oma Beauty, but also through Pull Up for Change. In 2021, Pull Up for Change donated $370,000 worth of grants to 8 Black individuals interested in founding their own businesses. Ron Robinson, founder of Beauty Stat, said, "Beauty has lost a bright, shining light, and Sharon, we are better for all that you've done for us and all that you've done for the industry." I was truly just so sad to hear about her passing. Also, if you have not heard, the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale has started. At the time you're seeing this video, the sale has begun. I feel like it snuck up on us this year. I'm normally like counting down, waiting for the sale. I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. I will leave the calendar with all the deals linked down below. I'll also try to keep you updated on my community tab if there are any exciting steals throughout the sale that I think are worth picking up. But the $160 lipsticks and the Skims mask and all this silly stuff happening right now, I'm like, do I even want to talk about it? I debated including the $160 lipsticks or not because I'm like, what could I say that hasn't been said? It's outrageous, but it's outrageous on purpose. You know, that's what they want. They want it to feel exclusionary. They don't want everyone to be able to buy that. Or even like the Skims face thing, I'm like, that's just not how your body works. You can't change your face shape by squeezing it. But thankfully, I think most people have seen right through that. But thank you so much to Dalba for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on everything down below, and I will go ahead and see you on my next one. Bye.